Hello everybody, welcome to Thriftins. This is my online thrift store where I like to showcase some of the cool finds that I discover on my travels and eventually sell on eBay. Today I have a old Sony A37 with the case, but we'll talk about that later. This camera I actually purchased at a pawn shop and I had planned to keep it. It is a very nice camera. It came with the 17 to 80, I believe, millimeter zoom lens, which is probably the original kit lens. I actually bought this lens, which is an old Minolta autofocus lens on eBay to use with this camera because I wanted to do some portraits and I wanted a 50 millimeter lens. I eventually upgraded. I bought a newer Sony camera. This Sony camera actually has the A-mount system that Sony acquired when they purchased Minolta back in the day. So any Minolta A-mount lenses will actually fit on A-mount Sony cameras from that era. I bought a modern Sony E10 so I can use E-mount. I do have an adapter so I could use these lenses in manual mode, but I don't really want to do that so much. And yeah, so I'm just going to sell this camera. It will be listed on eBay. Some condition issues. I noticed that there's a pad thing missing here. It doesn't really affect the actual camera itself. The screen still works, pops out. Viewfinder works great. The camera's pretty clean otherwise. There's a little bit of sticky gooiness here. And you get that kind of like that degrading rubber feel a little bit. But otherwise, it's very good condition. The flash works. Camera works great. There's no memory card with this, and the batteries are basically poached. I can charge them to full charge. However, they just don't hold the charge. So you will have to Amazon some new batteries for these, which are still pretty accessible. I will include this lens as well as the kit lens. It does also come with this retractable hood, which I believe maybe somebody bought off Temu or something like that. So it'll come with that. You'll also get a couple filters, which are newer filters. They're not very expensive, but there's a UV and a polarizer one, I believe. This is probably the polarizer. This is the UV. So you get those. I'll include a transfer cable and the charger, of course, as well as the other zoom lens, which is actually plugged into my other camera right now because I was just testing and playing with it. So yeah, this camera works perfectly fine. It's great for photography. It does also do video in 1080p, but you know, this camera is probably from 2012, so it's a little dated. However, I like it a lot. I love the picture profiles in it. It's a fun little camera to experiment with, so I hope you enjoy it too, and it'll be listed on eBay probably shortly after this video is released. So yeah, thanks again for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.